Previously on Fear the Walking Dead.
3 weeks! 3 weeks of good episodes of Fear. Have we ever had that? Sherry has made her return, of course, at the very end of the episode. That was a really great reunion scene. I mean, it really was. The music they used in it was great. If she saved Morgan, maybe we'll actually get into some of that story as well, too, in episode 5. Holy crap, you know, and oh man, like, you know, I love that. You gotta feel really happy for Dwight, Dwighty boy. I just can't believe this show. I seriously cannot believe how good this show is.
Hey guys, it's Dan, your host of Dan's Reviews, and today I'm back for another video for Fear the Walking Dead. This one's going to be doing my weekly review for this week's episode of Fear the Walking Dead Season 6. This is for Season 6, Episode 4, The Key.
Get back in the house.
John, what's going on?
An example will need to be made.
If you go down this path, there's no going back.
John! Okay guys, so this is going to be doing my weekly review for this week's episode of Fear the Walking Dead Season 6. This is for Season 6, Episode 4, The Key. So, guys, absolutely awesome episode this week for Fear the Walking Dead. Absolutely cannot wait to get into this review. So, definitely if you have not seen this episode yet, finally, actually, for once, for Fear, I would actually say yes, you would definitely, you know, spoiler warning if you have not seen this episode yet. After a long time, definitely, you know, spoiler warning, leave the video if you haven't seen it yet, but after a long time for Fear the Walking Dead, after wondering for a while if we were ever going to get a character death again, it just felt like we were never going to get one. Yeah, we did. We got a character death this episode, and it was just, holy crap, guys. So, alright, now, this week's episode of Fear the Walking Dead obviously is focused around John. This is an episode basically completely focused on him, as well as Morgan meeting up with the, you know, the spray painter, you know, people. So, in terms of everything that they did with Morgan in this episode, I really do like a lot of what they were doing because, and this season too, they really do it to where, you know, kind of, you know, you get, you know, mainly one character focused, but then you get Morgan as like a side story. So, I really liked what they did with Morgan in this episode, and I thought it was all really good. But obviously the main, you know, story of this episode takes place in Lawton with John and with, you know, Strand, and then obviously we have Janice, who is a big focus in this episode. We have, you know, Rabbi Jacobs, we have Jenny, obviously Dakota, and a few others like that. But it just made for such an awesome episode. This episode absolutely blew me away with what they did. So, yeah. So, alright. Basically, the main plot of this week's episode is that we've got John that's living in Lawton, right? We got, you know, everything that's going on good. You know, he's kind of one of the, you know, kind of officers, ranger-ish, you know, type of people in the community, obviously. We can see his kind of daily activity there in the first couple scenes. And we kind of get to see how he's doing a little bit as, you know, it seems like him and June are passing letters back and forth to each other. So, pretty interesting. And I really did like the opening scene, how you really felt bad for John. You know, you want to see him with June, you want to see him, you know, have a reunion with June, and, you know, obviously, he's trapped in Lawton and he can't really go anywhere, that type of thing. So it's kind of a sad opening scene. But, basically, this episode, we get basically an investigation episode. You know, John, he has a job to do there, and you have this Cameron character that got killed. Now, I really like everything they did with, you know, Janice and, you know, John in this episode as he's doing the investigations. And, you know, Jenny kind of, she's like, you know, well, John, like, you know, don't think that this is going unseen. You know, you're doing a good job here, that type of thing. But, in this episode, John basically has a job to do, you know, for the Pioneers, that type of thing. He has, you know, kind of a mission, you know, a role in this community. And, man, just when it all goes down, absolutely crazy. And, yes, you know, I know a lot of people have been wondering, you know, at least I was, when we first saw the trailer for this season, that, oh, is it Madison in the cell? Is it Madison that's locked up in the cell? No, it's actually, which did surprise me, but I gotta be honest, I like the way this went. It actually was Janice that was locked up in the cell in this episode. And, you know, John, he has to kind of ask her the questions. He's like, you know, did you kill Cameron, that type of thing. And just, man, the death. I mean, the death of Janice. Such a crazy scene. And honestly, I did not expect them to go this route. So we finally actually did in Fear the Walking Dead, because last season we had Tom's death, which was just horrible. But we haven't really had like a death in Fear the Walking Dead for like a main character. But this one felt really like a main character death in this episode with the death of Janice. And, just everything they did with it, you know, with the death of Cameron first, and then what happens to Janice, and just how it all went down. Absolutely insane stuff. And for John, just crazy. So basically, we get to see the fight between Strand and John in this episode, and he just goes at him, you know. And I was actually kind of surprised on how good Strand did in this fight. You know, he started off pretty good, and then John, you know, of course, kind of finished it off. But absolutely insane, and just that fight scene overall was just crazy to me. As Rabbi Jacobs is kind of trying to break it up, but of course John is mad and he's not going to stop. You know, so you know, and what does John say? He's like, this place is crazy or something, or this place like nothing good happens here. You know, something like that. Anyway, really crazy stuff. So basically, you know, let's talk about the ending. Of course, we do get a bit of a kind of reunion scene between June and John. Of course, you know, a little bit. And it was great. I mean, it was a great ending to the episode. Really fantastic end, and specifically, you know, I really just can't wait to see where it goes from here, you know, with the way this episode went, the way it ended, and just as a spotlight episode for John, and everything they did with the death of Janice, and just everything they did with the kind of him getting a promotion even, and just kind of, just how everything went. It was just such a great episode for the John character. And like I said, the stuff with Morgan as like a side story in this episode really worked well for me as well. I thought it was really great, and I'm very excited to see what they do with Morgan next. Absolutely. So, yeah, guys, absolutely awesome episode for Fear the Walking Dead this week. Just absolutely loved it. I think John is a great lead for an episode, and I really think that, you know, in terms of just everything they did with him in this episode, and the Lawton community, and the investigations, and him getting his promotion, and, you know, the fight with him and Strand, and the death of Janice, and just all this stuff, and the way this episode ends as well with June, oh man, it's such a great episode. So, in terms of a rating for this episode, honestly, I can't even think of any logical reason why I would not give this episode another 10 out of 10. I think that this week, episode 3 last week, and episode 4 this week, it's justified. Honestly, a 10 out of 10 for me is where I'm going to put it. It's a great episode for John. Loved the way this episode went. Everything in it was just so great, along with Morgan, of course, as kind of a side story with the spray painting characters and just everything. I think a 10 out of 10 is well deserved for this episode, and I'm going to give this episode a 10 out of 10. Absolutely. So as an episode overall, I can't. This was such a great episode of Fear the Walking Dead. This season is just really great. I mean, honestly, I thought that I would not like, you know, some of these more focused episodes, but episodes like this, and just everything that they did in this one, how packed this one was, it was great. It was a great episode for Fear, and definitely, I think, you know, just everything they did with John in this one, the death of Janice, the death of Cameron, just everything they had in this one was really great. And in terms of what happens next, I mean, I just can't wait to see. And obviously, if you guys don't know, yes, next week we're going to get to see Dwight and Sherry and a few others, it looks like. Obviously, the next episode is called Honey, so obviously we'll do our predictions for that. But just for this week's episode of Fear, and just, you know, my thoughts overall on the episode, I mean, the death of Janice was crazy. The stuff with John was great. The ending was absolutely incredible with the, you know, the June stuff. And, you know, and the fight between Strand and John, too, was really great. And it was just such a shocking episode overall. Such a great one. And probably one of my favorites, actually, I would have to say, this season. This is one of my favorite episodes of Fear the Walking Dead Season 6. This season, I think, now that we're a quarter way through the season and halfway through the first half, I can definitely say I think this is one of the best seasons Fear the Walking Dead has ever done. So, anyway, guys, I want to hear your opinions about all this stuff in the comment section below. What did you guys think about this week's episode of Fear the Walking Dead? thoughts on the death of Janice, thoughts on, you know, everything they did with John in this episode, everything with Morgan, and of course, these spray painter characters, of course, and just what do you guys think about all this stuff? I definitely want to hear from you guys in the comments section below. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Write your comments in the comments section below. If you guys are new here, click the subscribe button so to send my videos for Fear the Walking Dead. Follow Dan's Walking Reviews on Instagram, guys, and of course, I'll see you guys really soon for another video for Fear the Walking Dead. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys, and peace out.
Anybody out there?